help me welcome Trymore to the stage, the table topic section. Thank you so much. To the speaking area. What did I say?
Stage.
To the stage.
Good evening once again. I don't think we have any visitors, right?
No.
Just members.
Surprisingly.
So I believe we would all like to take part, right?
We don't have a choice.
Okay. All right. So I think maybe you already understand my style of running table topics. Maybe I would give an example, and then afterwards.
You're quite vicious with that. Let's put this down a little bit. We might be scaring the audience.
Okay.
I will be calling you up.
Right, so each one of us, whoever I choose, will be given 2 minutes to actually take part. So yeah, I'll just dive into it. So I remember at one point in my life, when I bought my first car, I was 20 and I bought a car that I didn't really drive. So I parked it and then used the taxi to go to work. So I remember at one point, it was raining heavily. And it's like a distance to actually walk to the taxi rank because I'm from the township. So I remember I stood up like an hour early, stressing like, oh, how am I going to do this? Because I love hills and it's raining and I have to walk. What am I going to do? And I have a car, but I don't want to drive it. And you know, something in me said, take the car and go to work. And I'm like, man, I've got taxi drivers make life difficult. And you know what? Let me try resting and then we'll see when I wake up. And I remember when I woke up, I decided that I'm taking my car. I was very nervous because I wasn't sure if I knew exactly how to drive properly. But part of me felt like I was ready because every day after work, I would take the car around the neighborhood, drive and drive. So when I woke up, took a bath and then fixed myself ready for work, and I was like, let me get my Lena sign. I think that'll make life easier. Put it on the car. And I took the car and went to work. It was raining heavily and I was so nervous. And taxi drivers will always be taxi drivers. But I made it to work an hour later. And I started screaming the minute I got there and I called my family to let them know that I'm safe, I'm at work. And ever since I took my car every day to work. So, Eskia, what's one thing you've done that pushed you outside of your comfort zone?
Okay, thanks, Trymore. So for a very long part of my life, I'm extremely afraid of public speaking. And it goes also with 1 or 2 incidents where I was actually on a stage and I literally almost had to run off the stage because I just, I couldn't do it. And then earlier this year, the end of the previous year, I googled Toastmasters and I eventually got, I just decided to go to the club nearest to my house, which was this club, and I just rocked up here. Because I remember I emailed someone and she didn't reply to me. She didn't reply to me and I just rocked up here. And that evening when I came here, I absolutely realized that today I did something. I was not comfortable. I was really not comfortable. But one thing leads to another. And about 2 or 3 weeks after I started, a lady, she actually won the speech contest. It was the competition before this one. Vanessa. She said that evening, she said, just put up your hand. And that is actually advice I took on, not only that evening, but also in my working place. Today someone said, listen, I need to do a presentation on AI to lecturers, to the whole Faculty of Humanities, and I don't know how to do it. And I said, I will do it. I also don't know how I'm going to do it. But I just said, I will do it. So now it's in my diary, the 25th of May, and I just know it's in my diary. So from now on, I just say yes. There's also a book, Year of Yes, where you don't say no to anything in that year. So there's actually a book about it, so yeah, just say yes, and that is how I got slowly but surely out of my comfort zone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gora, how many questions can I ask? Or you'll let me know?
I'll tell you when time's up.
All right, okay.
Sure, you can take another 3 or 4.
Okay. On the 20th of Feb this year, I lost a friend of mine, a childhood friend, and she was on drugs for 15 years. So I'm 30, she was also 30. And I think the last time I saw her sober was when we were 15. So that's like 15 years of lost friendship and stuff. And I remember the last time I saw her, I think she was a bit sober, but still not in the right condition, because I sat down with her in front of her siblings, and she was a drug addict, and she obviously was away from home. But that day when I went to her parents, because I normally visited her mom almost like maybe every second month to just chill with her and stuff. So she decided to come home that day, and I had a chat with her, and I had to remind her of her childhood. That remember you wanted to be a pilot, and you threw away the dream for drugs and stuff. And I remember telling her younger sister that if your sister ever decides to come back home and she's sick, don't be harsh, don't remind her of the years of drugs and stuff, because she now had a daughter. And I said, don't even insult her in front of her daughter, because in her mind, in the daughter's mind, she'll grow up insulting her own mother, calling her a drug user. So I said, if she's sick, take a blanket, take care of her. These are the days maybe we were getting to spend with her. And only to realize 2 months later that we would lose her. So she came back home just, I think, 2 weeks after I had a chat with her, and she was sick from then and she passed on. So I think if I could give my younger self one piece of advice would be to really stay away from drugs, because they steal your future. They have nothing good to offer. They destroy people's lives. They just destroy everything, families and stuff. And that was the advice I gave to her, that she must come back home. And that's the advice I would also tell myself, stay away from drugs. And if you're ever on drugs and life gets hard, go back home. That's the best place you could ever be. Christine, if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I grew up in the UK, in the city of the best football team in the world, Manchester United. And the Brits from the north, I think the further north you get, we are very matter of fact. My father was very matter of fact. This is how we do things, and we don't worry how we feel about doing them. You just get on with it, and you just do it. So I think if I had to give myself some advice, would be, and I was very much a loner as well. So I know now people who know me think that maybe I'm an extrovert, but I'm actually not. I'm actually an introvert that has probably turned this inside out. But I think to take on your communicating, the communicating styles, I think I know that I'm a direct communicator, and because of my upbringing, but I also know that through my actions, I am a supportive communicator, because I'm very supportive in the things that I do for people. to Albert Moravian, who's a researcher from the 1980s, said that our communicating message is 55% our actions, 38% how we say things, and only 7% of what we actually say. So if I can give myself, is to match what I say to what I do. And I don't have to do it in silence. I can do it and I can verbalize it instead of just being the action supportive communicator. Mrs. Mennington.
Thank you, Christine. All right. Oh, I think I've had a speech a few years ago about the art of manifesting, and I did mention about how I tend to win almost every competition I enter. And just a week ago, I won a Galaxy S10 tablet, and the week before I won 2 tickets to a piano festival. So I've always believed in the art of manifesting, and I think I've had that focus that when I enter competition, I will win. And even if I don't win, at least somebody else won because they deserve it. So that was my unexpected joy, because now it was shared at the company's social media basically, and like people were calling me and saying, "But come on, Trymore, you can't enter all the competitions. You need to give us a chance as well." So I felt bad, but I was like, "But guys, come on, it is what it is." So Ruler, all right.
Yeah.
What is something that has brought you unexpected joy recently?
Unexpected joy. I think something that I've learned to do the older I get is when you're younger especially, you want everything right now as soon as you can have it. And you want more of it as much as you can. And one thing I had a conversation with my neighbor and we were talking about favorite dishes. And he said his favorite dish is feijoada. And he said, but I only have it on my birthdays. And I thought, that's interesting. Like, if you like it that much, just eat it all the time. And he said, no, I want it to be special for the rest of my life. So I only have it on my birthdays. So something that's given me unexpected joy is actually delayed joy. I've learned to ration the things that I like, food, activities, even certain people. But then when I am ready to enjoy it, then I unexpectedly enjoy it more than I think. It's kind of like wandering in the desert and finding an oasis, and then really appreciating for what it is, and then going back into the desert and realizing that was special, that was amazing. I will come back to it one day, even though I pray every day from there on. So I think that's something that's given me unexpected joy, is delaying the joy.
I think that's it, right? Okay. Then that completes the rest of the, well, that completes my session. Thank you. I want to lose it. Thank you. I'm heating control.
There we go.
Nice.
Other way around.
Oh, sorry guys.
Thank you very much.